Hi you guys, Ginger Cook here with Acrylic Painting Monday. Today we're going to be doing an abstract, well, expressionism type of painting of poppies using mostly orange, red, and black with a hint of yellow. So this is sort of a different color palette than we have done in the past, but it's a very popular color palette, and I'll tell you a little bit why that is. Anyway, I think you're going to learn a little bit about the different kinds of black we're going to be using in this painting, and also if those of you who are hoping to find a traceable for this, remember you can go to paintingwithginger.com tomorrow and just sign up to be an orange member, or if you're already an Academy member, that's great, orange and above, well, the traceables will be available for you then, okay? But anyway, I hope that you have fun watching this, and we got some fun things to share, and we'll do that right now. All right, so we have the 9x12 canvas. I like these. The one reason I like them is that they're real masonite. There was a company out of Texas that kids started in college, extremely successful, called Ampersand, where they were painting on wood. Jerry's really took this. He took what people liked about you know, canvas board, which was basically cardboard, and then canvas glued on it, which isn't very archival. And they went ahead and did thin slices of masonite board, canvas, real canvas, and then several is treated a lot. You can read about it on their website. So it's a really good thing to paint on. This is it was originally gray. I painted it orange. All right. So that's basically what I'm going to start off with. Now, this is something I was fooling around a bit. In the painting, I need this color gray. In it, this is Paynes Gray and Zinc White. And then I was looking at my different blacks, and I didn't have a shiny black. But when I put a gloss medium here, you see how shiny, can you guys see how shiny that little bit of black, this is regular black. So you can, if you need something shiny, the areas of the vase that are really shiny, you can add a little bit of gloss on top, and that might be very effective. And
Now what happens when we go to varnish this?
Well, yeah, so maybe you might want to, because normally when you varnish something, people, you always varnish with matte, with gloss first, and then if you need something matte. So probably what I would do then is, you know, varnish the whole thing with the gloss when you're done, but then come back with matte in places where you don't want it shiny.
On this particular piece, I will probably use gloss, matte, and satin, because all the different variety of this particular piece.
Yeah, so a lot of that is, and remember to watch our video on how to varnish over there on the Tech Bear channel, because you just can't go up and down with varnish. You'll have a hot mess and you'll be sorry you did it. The colors we're using are let's see, you don't really have that situated right, do you, John? Want me to just bring it up here?
Yeah.
The colors we have are white, zinc white. This is cad yellow deep, cad yellow medium, cad yellow light, orange, cad red medium, and then red.
Now what red is that red?
That's just Naphthol Crimson.
Okay.
Okay. So we're going to start with, I want the poppies to be very bright. So of course I'm going to paint those first white, and when I'm doing that, I want to offer great deep appreciation and sincerely gratitude for our moderators who have been showing up every week for years, and you guys, and doing the club and everything. You guys, you can't know how much John and I appreciate you. If we don't say it enough, we're saying it now, right?
Yep.
And so yeah. Anyway, thank you very much for that. Now, I do not have any water on the brush, but I'm using a Stay Wet palette, so there's a little bit of dampness on the palette. But notice that the brush strokes are going in. They're not going back and forth. I'm going in toward the center of the flower. Okay. Brush direction is like a record player. Those of you who remember what that is.
What's that?
Well, they're coming back now. Why? I can't imagine. Why would anybody want... I've got a really cool painting coming up for the Academy. You guys won't believe how cool it is. But it's another... but you can just be surprised when... I'll show it to you when it's done. But again, we have such modern conveniences in this world with computers and technology and cell phones
And we just take that for granted.
and aren't we glad? And I don't personally want to go back to the old stuff, you know, myself. But and it's interesting. John and I were laughing because, for instance, in Tomball, Texas, which is not far from where we live, they've got all these antique stores up there, and that's all the furniture that I grew, you know, that my friends had in their houses, and I didn't think, I don't necessarily see them as antiques, you know, the Jetson furniture, that kind of stuff. Anyway, it's interesting to me what people think is antiques. Of course, you know, then you've got the antiques from the time when the 1600s and that furniture, and of course those are kind of what I think of as antiques, you know, the old stuff, the really old stuff. But as time passes, it's like when you're getting older, when they start playing the oldies on the radio and you haven't heard any of the songs, you don't know what they're even playing. You just have no clue. What is that? It's not an oldie, you know, it goes beyond that. So, all right, now I'm going to come down here and do something similar to my apple. Guess I got some apples down here, and I'm going to do that too. So, do we have any comments or questions, John, as I'm doing this?
Yeah, one came right up here. If you don't have cadmium yellow deep, can you make it?
Yeah, you can. I would add a little bit of orange to cad yellow medium. A little bit of orange color, yeah, absolutely.
But do a little bit at a time.
Yeah, just do a little bit.
Build up to it.
Yeah. And if you don't have Paynes Gray, it's Paynes Gray is black and ultramarine blue. So it's all right if you don't have that either, okay? So sometimes you have stuff, sometimes you don't. And even with doing the white, let's see, let's just make sure we get all this painted here like that. That's kind of where I am right now.
It's a beautiful painting.
Well, you see, again, you don't really see much of, you see how that's kind of shining through. I almost feel like I've got to do a second coat on this. Because I would normally dry this, but I think it will dry. Simply because I've got so much to do on the other part of the painting, the vase and so forth, that we get around to these, I think they'll be dry. But you can see how that's kind of got thin on you. Or on me, yeah. So I heard a funny story today. I got to share this with you. It was so funny. I was reading the news, and every once in a while you read something and you're thinking, you know, you can't make this stuff up. I mean, it's just so crazy. All right, so what did I read? Okay, so apparently there was this man, and he was a lifetime criminal, you know, kind of mob type. And he'd, you know, been in and out of prison and, you know, liked to steal things. And he was in his 70s, I guess. And somebody told him, one of his friends dared him to break into the museum and steal the ruby satin slippers from the Wizard of Oz that Judy Garland wore.
Ooh.
Told him that they had real rubies in them and they'd be worth a fortune. Kind of your last big heist, they said. Kind of one last one before you know, hit the dirt. It was so clever. He had a criminal relapse. How do you have a criminal relapse? You know, you have a relapse of illness, but apparently you can have a criminal relapse. Really, that's what they said. So, he stole them, broke a window, stole them. And he went to this pawn shop to sell them, the rubies, and get the money. And the guy that owned the pawn shop had never heard of the Wizard of Oz. Absolutely had never heard of it. Didn't know what the guy was talking about. And he said, by the way, those are not rubies, they're glass. Now the shoes were insured for $2 million, and now they think they're worth around $3. I got to tell you, I thought that was so funny. I need one more color. I'm going to do a little bit of the raw sienna. Assuming I can get any out. All right, we'll poke a hole in you. So they caught him, and he's finally they caught him and retrieved the shoes and all of that. And the where did you don't put my spiky things back, John? My spikes. Did you throw my spiky sticks away? Is that what happens to them?
No, there's some in your bowl to the right.
To my right. Oh, that right. Okay, here, spiky sticks, right?
That's where you started putting them. I just follow suit.
Well, who remembers where one puts anything in the throngs of interesting
Apparently
people?
I do.
John remembers. Well, yay, John. Yay, you. So good somebody remembers. Anyway, so he had this, bout of I think that's what his attorney tried to say anyway, that he had a bout of, this recidivism of returning to crime, and nobody was impressed. And anyway, the problem is that he's now in hospice, and so they can't really, he's got about 6 months to live, and the slippers were returned, so that was kind of the end of that little, I guess that's the end of that caper. Is that what you would say? That
yeah,
caper.
Absolutely.
But
the criminal caper.
I don't know, but you just, you read these stories and you think, God, I think I've heard it all. There's some cad red medium down here like that. Up here, just on top of the orange.
Oh, Lisa has a question. I find the Stay Wet palette makes my paint a bit runny. What am I doing wrong? Just wet the spun and wring it out until most of the water is out. Wring it out more. When you put your paper down on top of the sponge, take a paper towel and wipe all over to get it really, really flat, and that'll draw out some more water. You still have just too much water. Sometimes I get too much and they get runny.
Yeah.
But that's all it is. The paper towel is the trick.
Yeah, paper towel. Yeah, that's the trick. We're going to take a little bit of orange and black and make a bit of a brown color. And add some of that to here. Kind of all down long strokes here. Orange and black. Makes sort of an interesting brown.
Bella ends up with a little bit of mold. Bella, before I put the sponge in, I'll take some hydrogen peroxide and spray it, put it down on the bottom underneath the sponge, and we've been able to keep them for 3 or 4 months.
Yeah, it's interesting to me that, okay, here's some black now. Interesting to me that I'm kind of now watch this, you guys. I'm taking my brush, starting here, and then lifting up, pulling down and lifting up, pulling down and lifting up. Okay, and trying to keep the brush flat to allow some of this red underneath to show through. See what I'm doing? And like right up here on the bottom, I'm going to do the same thing, pull and lift up. So we're going to do a little bit of the brown next to this vase, and then we'll get a little bit more of the black in it. And then I want something pretty dark down in here next to these guys. All right, now, let's see, we know we want something pretty dark right here. Maybe a little Paynes Gray with that. That's the Paynes Gray color. Let's use that. Maybe a little ultramarine blue with that now. Put a little bit more ultramarine blue in those colors. A little zinc white, since I keep coming on down. This is really kind of playing with the different shades of gray, okay? And some blue next to here, like that, the vase, but I think I'm missing my paper towel, which of course you need to be able to wipe off the brush so that you can get this effect. You get too much paint on here, it doesn't work. So a little bit of this gold color. And if I'm holding the brush very flat so I don't get into the black, right like that. Barely touch it. Okay. And a little bit darker up here like that. Let's see. Better get the green off. My green and black, yellow make black. Green can be made with black and yellow, so you have to be careful that if you're using black and you don't get into your yellow, and then get some green, because we don't really have any green in this. A little bit on the stems is all we're going to have. Okay. And take a little bit of this orange color. So you tap the paint off, come around here like that. It's a little bit about layers. Okay. That's that light orange color. And okay, this is a fun painting to do. Any other questions, John? Or did I rattle on about how we're painting this?
Not at the moment, my queen.
Okay. So this gives the background a chance to kind of dry a little bit too before we do the palette knife. I'm going to do a little bit of blue and red and zinc. I'll put a little bit of ultramarine blue with it. And what that makes is sort of a purple color. Do you see that? Drive that on there, a little bit more zinc white with that. Let's put a little bit more red in it. You think this is really, you think this is just learning to layer. Well, this is a great tutorial on layering. When you layer and how you layer. So while that's drying, let's just do the vase, and we're going to paint the vase kind of zinc white. Last week I did a quick tutorial on how to draw a vase in freehand. That was the one where what did we paint last week, John? Something. John, what did we paint last week on YouTube?
It was a flower.
It was the flowers, yeah, and we talked about how to do a vase.
Yep.
All right, do you see how that's like a little different color, right? You see that? And maybe we'll put some of that color here too. Kind of wrap it up like that, okay? So you're going, well, that's cool, yeah. So this is not drift. This is really learning brush control. I would say that is the main thing. So here's some cad red. We're going to put it here on top of this around the vase. Let's just do this whole bottom in cad red. We'll put the black over it.
All right, let's give Jules a thank you for the donation that came through Zella.
Oh yeah, thank you so much, Jules. Let me get some water here. I don't know what happened. Jules, thank you very much.
I don't know what to tell you why you guys are buffering. We're putting out over what YouTube wants. So
there's storms all around the country, just like last week. All right, so we got Notice it's not quite a straight line, it's kind of zigzaggy, okay?
Oh, a precursor. We did have the power blink on and off before the show, so if we disappear, you know why.
Yeah.
So don't go in panic mode. It's just part of life.
Okay. So one thing I'm going to do, is this still wet? Yeah. All right. We're not going to do anything to that. We're going to, now if you've been using a dark brush, go get another clean one if you're going to do the flowers.
Especially if you don't have to clean them yourself.
That's right. Well, regardless, you still should do that. So I'm going to do a little bit of white and cad yellow. But if you don't understand, for instance, one of the things that happens to people is Bob Ross loved to talk about happy accidents. All right? He was very big on that. And my feeling about happy accidents is if you don't know how you got what you got, then it's very hard to do it again. So one thing you might want to ask yourself is, do I understand the painting process? Do I understand how I got the paintings I did? Am I struggling? One thing about, being educated in art, which you all are being, all right, is that you're going to start recognizing good artwork more than you ever did before. And you're going, well, what do you mean by good artwork? Well, what I'm saying is that you will, see, I'm looking for my T-square here. It used to be in that drawer. Used to be somewhere.
It's down number 3, 4.
4 drawer?
It's with your pen. No, it's with your pens, wherever your pens are. In the middle.
Oh, I see it. Yeah. Okay. I want this line to be straight. Okay. So I'm going to push this up a little bit. So one thing I would say is the problem is you're seeing better. A lot of times when you, a lot of times people will paint something and they're extremely happy with it. They can't believe they painted it. And then 2 years later, they can't believe they painted that. You think it's terrible. Well, it was great at the time, but now your eye has developed more painting skills. And sometimes your eye develops more painting skills than your hand is quite caught up to. All right? And that makes a difference. So I would say, try to be a little less judgy. Just maybe go back to one of those earlier paintings you did that, and try painting it now. Go do an old one and see how much better you are at it. All right? That's bound to cheer you up. Because chances are, if you've been painting for a little while, you go back and do one of these golden oldie ones that you first did, you're going to find that you're much more happy with it than you thought before. Okay? It's just the way it goes. So, notice I'm putting some red and black together to do that color. Just get that a little more contrast there. I want some contrast by my poppy. On this side of the poppy, I want a little darker so that it shows up. Does this make sense? Maybe I'll take a little black. And just in this little section here, I don't have to do the whole thing. I'm going to put a little black right there on this poppy. Maybe work on the shape a little bit. All right, so I don't know if that's something that people want to hear, but I mean, honestly, what happens to a lot of people who get dissatisfied is they start recognizing good art, and the longer they paint, they start seeing things, and then they're not sure how to accomplish it. And that can make you very unhappy. The other thing is if you're just in the doldrums, I told you, I think we talked about last week or maybe during painting time, that you can't here's a palette knife. We're going to just run this down here like that now. Add some texture. Same color, but it will look different. You start at the edge and then pull down. So You start like right here at the edge and then pull down and then flatten out the knife and let it skip on your board. See, still got a little paint on it, and let it skip. Okay. So I would say go back and try something you've already done. And I don't say this because I'm your personal art coach from a lot of people, but I would say get some personal art coaching so that somebody can encourage you when you're maybe are being a little bit too hard on yourself. Did you say that's right, John?
Yeah, either that or a coach can also say, why don't we do this to help you improve the skill that you may be having issues with.
Exactly so, okay?
Yeah, we can't stress enough the importance of the personal art coaching.
Yeah, you think we're just advertising ourselves, but we're absolutely right. We just see the difference. I see the difference for people that take us up on it, and honestly, it was
night and day.
Night and day difference. Yeah. Night and day difference. So, yeah, those are all things to think about. All right, so let's paint a few poppies in. You can take the light, the orange, just the cadmium orange, and add some cad yellow light with it. Okay, and we're going to say this is our lightest petal here, but we'll just do it all this color. So I can always go dark over this. Does that make sense? So that's cadmium orange and cad yellow light. Okay, kind of mixed together about 50-50. Let's bring the brushes in. And then also, if you're in the, and I started to talk about the other week, if you've been just painting bills and doing a lot of math stuff, don't go paint for a while. Don't go try to paint after you've done that. You just can't do it. It just screws up your brain. Go pet the cat, to walk the dog, do something else. Get in the happier part of your brain.
Or pet the dog and walk the cat.
Listen to some happy music. I remember one time I was doing a mural for a lady as a gift because I really liked her. And I was painting this whole bathroom, and this is just cad yellow. And I was painting the whole bathroom, and I was listening to Elvis Presley music, which for me was happy. Now for somebody else, it may not just, all you think about is, oh, we didn't make it or whatever. Maybe it wouldn't be happy for you. See, already you're seeing how neat this looks, and we haven't even put the red on the poppies yet, right? And that's kind of cool, isn't it, really, in its own little happy way?
It is.
Yeah. Ooh, just cool, right? All right, let's paint this apple.
It's coming to life already.
Yeah, I thought you guys would like this painting. I really did. It's not hard. There's layers. And I would say watch the video a couple times. All right? Do that. Watch it a couple times. And then tackle it. Try to see what it was I did to create this. There's some cad yellow light. When I was when I had one of my many publishers I've had over the years, I had one in Texas, and he said if you would just paint in black and red, we could sell it. I'm telling you what, I am doing this for you guys. Black and red is not me, and I'm doing this. This is a sacrifice I'm making for all of you, who aren't as who don't mind these colors, right?
This is not her palette.
No. No, it's not. It's not, you guys. It's all right. We'll live with it.
Let's give Sharon a million thank yous for her donation that came in through PayPal, and she's got a ticket in the fishbowl.
Sharon, that is a million happinesses. Thank you so much. Really, you can't know. People, I don't think you guys know what a difference. Even when you just, even if you just support us by becoming Orange members, it's $4.95 a month. If you think that that's for all the traceables back to 2020, and that's less than, what is that? Not even $1.25 a week that you appreciate us that much. Just that makes such a difference, doesn't it, John? And,
yeah.
and if everybody did that, and the fact that some of you are able to financially come and help us with the, the bigger stuff with the donations and stuff like that.
Greatly appreciated.
Greatly appreciated, because this all goes, it all helps. I guess that's what I would say. It all helps.
Jules would like to know, if you don't have black or you wanted to use a different color, would purple be a good choice instead of the black?
Yeah, you could do purple, because
it's got to be dark.
You'd have to make it really dark. You'd have to put like
you have to put black.
You'd have to put maybe purple. You'd have to put ultramarine blue in the purple, and maybe some red.
You got to
really darken it.
Yeah, darken.
Maybe some darken it. And I would do like a color swap. Like, see how I did this with my hair? I would do some color swaps, where it's swatches. See how like I put the varnish on that, and see how this little thing varnishes is shinier. And this was the color I wanted for. This was Paynes Gray with a little Zinc White, which is the color I wanted for my vase. See, all of that makes a difference. So it makes make a few little color choices that you're happy about, right? Put a little white on here. I think I'm probably pretty good. I can put these in. Not too good, because that one's still wet.
But it's wonderful.
All right, let me just give that a fast dry, you guys.
Oh, no, wait.
No, well, then I'll work on the apples.
Yeah, do that.
And then I'm going to be doing you got to anticipate at some point I would want to dry something, John, don't you suppose? Just on in the overall scheme of things.
I vote no.
Yeah. Okay.
And I got a backing person that says no.
All right, because when I palette knife in, I get things pretty. Well, I hope you guys. Whoop! There goes my picker upper thing. I can't deal with that. All right, so I know that I want this apple. I want a little bit of green to it, so I'm going to take a little bit of Paynes Gray in yellow and make a little bit of a, let's see, darker green. And I want this to be my shadow side of this apple here. Let's put a little bit of black in it, a little bit darker. There you go. And maybe a little bit on this side here like this. Let's do that. And then a little bit in the center. Let's do a little bit right there. Okay. I'm going to rinse the brush. Rinse. And then I'm going to add a little bit of the orange color right here. There you go, like that. Maybe a little bit right here. And around this side. And let's take a little bit of the cad yellow light. Come this way with it. And then a little bit of the cad yellow medium. A tiny bit of blue with that, just like 1%. Let's mix that over here. So it's sort of yellow, but has a little bit of a green tint, and we're going to put that right here. And wipe off and go back to our orange, put the orange back, which we lost. And there we go. Okay, and then we can take a little brush, just so we can finish one apple. Take a little brush, put a little bit of orange on this side of the where the stem is. Okay. And let's do something even darker in here, like that. Then we're going to take some dark paint and come around the bottom of the apple, like that, and around the side of it. Sometimes you got to do the little stuff with a small brush. Okay. All right. Now, all's well and good. Let's do the next one. We're going to take the cad yellow light and say this is the end of this apple right here. And wipe off the excess paint. Kind of clear the brush that way. And say there's our this end of the apple, and then we're going to wipe the brush off and get the cad red medium. Come over the outside of the apple like this, and say that this is our red part. Okay, wipe it off. Let's get some orange for here, just a little bit. And something over here like that on the bottom of this one. Too much paint. Go back to our yellows. Now these work because we've got black around them like this, so that they're kind of, there we go, and then barely want to see something there. It goes to about 2 o'clock if you thought of the apple as a clock. The black goes to about 2 o'clock. Okay. And then we're just using black now. We're going to say on the base of the vase, we're going to come here like that. Shoot some color that way. All right, and we've got some color coming out this way from this apple, like this. And then all this down below is going to be dark, so we'll put that in. Any questions, John, as I keep adding colors to this?
Would this be a good painting for the dioxide purple?
What?
That purple that's shiny.
Well, the problem is it's shiny. So you'd have to put matte medium with it, right? Dioxide purple's fine, but where you want it shiny, but not where you don't. So you'd have to put matte medium in the paint to keep it from being shiny. Notice that these are off at an angle. See this? These are angled and up from the corner here, and then going this way. They're not just randomly dark lines. All right, makes sense, right, when you think about it? Darken each corner. Come down here a little bit. Lower this. All right, so now we know that we've got a little bit of green right here on this apple. It's not dry, so maybe I can put that in, and it'll be the right color because I'll blend it. All right. Okay, so we're going to leave those alone, so we'll come back to them. All right. So far, so good, though. Yes and yes?
Yep. The light source is coming from the top. It's coming from the top left. Not top. It's high. It's above your head high. You can tell by the reflection that's going to be on the vase itself.
And remember, sometimes paintings will have multiple light sources, so you can't just go by that.
Yeah, especially with a set-up still life.
There's
when we do a still
most
life,
of the
we'll have 4 or 5
photographs you
lights
find
on it.
always have multiple light sources.
Yeah. And you have reflective light. There's all kinds of light running around.
Yeah, it's reflected light, all kinds of things to remember.
How do you keep it straight?
So, all right, so we did that little outline there. And I want this a little lighter right here. Okay. So, one thing I can do with my vase now is take some cad red medium and come on this side of the vase and just drop it on there. Get all the water off your brush. This is really key here. So you're going right into the paint.
Okay, here's a question.
What?
Can a painting not have any light source?
Well, yes, it's called a black room.
Yep, black room with a black canvas. Like the guy that did the white canvas, you can do it all in black.
In fact, I remember when I was going to summer camp up at Orcas Island in the San Juan Islands, there was a, notice I'm putting another coat of red on here. There was a postcard you could buy, and it was black, and it said Orcas Island at night. You could send to people, letting them know that you had really been relegated to the boondocks. You know, in case anybody had any doubt where you were. Sort of sad commentary on what we all thought about the summer camp. That's all right. All right, so did that, and I think it could even be brighter, so I'll take a little of this cadmium orange and do just a little bit on top of that. Okay, on the vase.
But no, go back to Debbie's question for a second. I mean, on a cloudy day, total overcast.
It's flat light.
It's flat light, so light is everywhere. If you have no light, like we said, Debbie, it's going to be black. You can't see. So
you'll
you're
see
really
a lot of the
asking is flat lighting.
a lot of the old dead guys, right? Painted, you know, say snow and stuff like that, and you know, maybe a landscape, and it was all flat light. You know, Europe's, Germany, France, and stuff. They have whole times when there's no bright sunlight. That's why they used to go to the south of France to paint. All right, we're going to work on our poppies now. We're going to come in here from this and then down to the center like that. They've had a chance to dry, and we'll take the.
Is that just your orange?
That's cadmium orange.
Yeah.
First, I want to do that first, and then
you're building them up.
Just layer it up like this.
This is layer number 4. You guys counting?
2, 3, 4, and then wipe it off.
Start again.
Let's take some yellow with the cad red.
Let's thank Debbie for brightening up the day using PayPal donation. She's got a ticket in the fishbowl. Thank you, Miss Debbie.
Thank you very much, Miss Debbie. That's just awesome. I think I'm out.
Oh, she didn't do PayPal. She did Venmo. My bad. Venmo is part of PayPal, though, so.
Oh, I heard something sort of interesting today. Guys, know what it is, even though it's nothing to do with painting. I heard something interesting. Right?
Sure. Do we have a choice?
Well, you know how FedEx and
UPS?
UPS, no, FedEx and Amazon
Oh.
were kind of having a war, and then they decided that they didn't need FedEx anymore. They were going to do their own thing, right?
I didn't know that.
You have to dry these before I can put the red on. Sorry. You ready for me to dry?
1 second. I'll mute you. I can do this. I've got the capabilities.
Can't you show those pictures I showed you today? Show the pictures of the people doing well in the academy? Or rather, just on Facebook that they posted?
I'm going to say no.
No?
No. I was fighting electricity and other issues setting up.
We'll have to show them next week. We're going to brag about a whole bunch of you. Too bad. Whoops, there it went, right? We thought you were...
You're muted.
Okay, I took over again. I love it when I'm in control. Now, how's it sound? This is kind of a little test. I gotta see what painting she told me to show today. We were fighting all kinds of stuff as we're getting ready to go live with the storms coming through. Oh, here's two. Let's see if I can get these over for the next drying session. I got two I want to show. I will see what I can do about that. If you have any questions, do let us know. And we do appreciate, again, all the donations coming in. That helps keep us afloat. And that one. All right, so we got those. Now the Queen's going to want to come back, so hold on a second. We've got to bring her back.
Okay, you're back.
All right, so I wanted to make sure. I really wasn't getting the red I wanted doing it that way. So I want to, mix my orange the color I want. There you go. And just try some red and yellow.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna have to. It's just not liking to be mixed, so we're just gonna ignore that. And there we go. The light orange over the red seems to do better than the other way. Reds are tricky.
So what was the story with FedEx and Amazon?
Oh yeah, well, yeah. So anyway, apparently they've been in some sort of war, and FedEx decided that they bought some other company out that has the technology to allow anybody, any little retail store, say like my daughter, with her her store or Macy's, to do the same thing Amazon does and do overnight shipping, and you can track it and everything. And so it doesn't matter if anybody that signs up for their service, okay, will have the option of being able to do that. Which I think is pretty neat, don't you, John?
Yeah. So is that something we should do?
Well, it's not something that would, really help us, but say it might help, say, somebody like Cinnamon, right?
Yeah.
That wanted to do something like that. And, okay, let's do red and zinc white. See what I get. Oh, that's pretty. Wanted just a little bit of pink in that, not much. Try a little white right here. Now we'll try a little red on this one. There we go. I knew we could do it. Make sure we have enough orange up on this one to separate these two from what they were doing. And then it's a little bit of white and yellow here on top. Could always layer to get that effect.
We are
cross over here, okay.
Background noise.
All right, so now when we put the dark on this, it will start to make sense. We have to put the dark centers in, and then those flowers will make sense. Let's go ahead and go back and put the little white pods in again.
There's another coat of white.
Coat of white, right? And then somehow we don't have enough white on here. I don't know why. We'll try this again. Okay. All right, now we're going to take a different brush and do the dark. We're going to go into the shiny black. It's going to be shiny. We're going to go into the black. We're going to say right here like this, sideways on this face. And right here, it's going to be this black. Remember, we had Paynes Gray before, right? And right up here on the throat of this, we've got, ooh, oh my goodness, look at that. Okay, so let's take that off. All right, it's good enough. I can paint over that. So we've got this dark here on the vase. And then I want something dark around here on this flower. All right, and saying that this is the shiny side of our vase.
Okay, let's see, we're picking up, when we're quiet, it seems like the system is searching for things to listen to.
Yeah, we're very quiet, aren't we?
Yeah, you're very quiet. You got to keep talking.
I'm not saying anything.
You got to talk.
Okay.
This lack of talking is not like you.
All right, let's get rid of that. You get a new thing. If you're using the same wipey thing, eventually you're going to be mixing colors and having goodness knows what's on your brush, and you won't know how that even happened.
Or why it happened.
Yeah. It's the Paynes Gray and Zinc White. All right, so there's that, right? So then we've got okay, so that's got to stay there for a minute. All right, now we've got let's work on our apples down here for a minute. So we know we want a little bit of white right here, and that's a highlight. Okay. And one part of that, yeah. And a little bit of like that. And I want something redder here. All right. And then we want something a little bit darker on the red. So ultramarine blue and red make a kind of a deep burgundy color, kind of that dark purple I was talking about, right? And on this, right on this side of the apple, right here, because there's red against red, we have to have this be a little darker, okay? And we're going to do that color right in here too on this side of the apple. There you go. And So that's that purple color that somebody, you know, who was asking about that, right? It's just not as dark. You see that? A little more translucent as we put these shadows in. So it's just a matter of value. Something is either lighter or darker than something else. And make sure this curves a little. All right, now, so far so good. Yes and yes? I think so. We're happy with that. All right, so I'm going to take the black. I'm going to come up here, and these shapes of these are like a letter V, and then fill it in. Like a wide V, and then maybe this one isn't quite so wide, but it's kind of the shape. Okay. Now you can use a brush, or you could use a pen, Posca pen. All right, now we're going into the black. And we're going to say that here's the center of this. You could use diazine purple with this too, if you wanted something to be shinier on the center. You could do that instead of black. Okay. This is right like that, and then this one is right next to this other flower. And this one's almost like a four-leaf clover shape. And this is a kind of got an oval here with a little bit of something coming out of it like that. Now already it's starting to look more interesting, isn't it? Okay. So let's just think this is dry enough. Let's see if we can make the palette knife work on this. Well, I don't know. That's risky. Well,
do you need to try again? If you need to try, I got the pictures now.
All right, let me try. John's got the pictures. All right, you guys, we're so proud of all of you, and you're following along and painting stuff and
all that stuff.
You know, we just are, and so we're excited. All right, so we're excited to brag on you. All right.
All right, I've muted her again. Hey, we want to show, I guess who this is. Hold on a second. Rebecca's. This is, oh, you want to see it. You want to see what I'm talking about. Bam. There you go. Rebecca did the skier. Did a beautiful job on it. Look at the emotion she got in that guy coming down that hill. I think that is peachy keen. Now I want to bring over Tina. This is Tina's. She did the cowboy. First time she sent it in for a pack, and there was nothing that needed to be done. I mean, she did a bang-up job right out of the chute. No extra work had to be done. I mean, great job on that one, Tina. Take a bow or two on that one. You did marvelous, marvelous job. Now we have to bring the queen back, and undoubtedly she's going to want to talk. So we have to turn her voice back on.
Oh, good. All right, thanks.
What a pain. Okay.
Sound like Eeyore.
Eeyore's my hero. I was a Winnie the Pooh type of person.
We couldn't have guessed, John. None of us. We're just such a surprise. Incidentally, just a real fast thing. Just a piece of tape.
What are you doing?
Well, this is sort of a trick here. I'm going to do this. Hold it like that. All right, now, why was I doing that? I forget. All right, it's coming back to me now. I'll remember.
Hey, we would like to thank an anonymous donor and mention that this is in honor of cinnamon. Thank you very much, an anonymous donor.
Thank you very much. And, you know, John and I...
and we will grant your wish.
We just, you know, thank you very much. And John and I've kept with Cinnamon, kept in touch with Cinnamon, and she asked that I not be the one to share anything about her, that she wants to be the one to do it. But I'm really glad that whatever's happening, that there's, that, you know, she's under good care. That's what I would say, right? And she's got, like I said,
get the latest update from their website. They'll communicate.
Yeah, they'll give you the updates. And she asked me not to share, and you know, sure.
We don't know exactly what's going on.
So I've got this tape here, and I'm going to do this really thick.
Oh.
For my highlight. Okay.
Now, what is the highlight a mixture of?
It's just yellow and white.
Okay. Now she's getting paint all over.
Now I'm going to pull this toward the. Normally you'd pull it straight up, but I'm going to pull it that way. And then I'm going to come here like this. Kind of mess it up.
So it doesn't look so perfect.
So it's not perfect, right?
But you wanted some control.
But I wanted some control over this, my highlight. And I could have just done it with the palette knife, but a lot of times people have trouble doing that. And there's the highlight going up the vase. And if I got it a little bit too much, I'll just take some Paynes Gray and cut it off like that. See, that way it's more uneven. Yeah?
There you go.
And then we've got the shiny paint. We're going to put kind of layer that back on there in a few places. That's the black. Okay. Yes and yes.
Looks good to me.
And okay, so these are all the little finishing touches that you just get. So as I was saying, the reason I was excited about that, I think, is we as consumers, like for instance, there might be some art companies that might take them up on that, right? Paint companies. This is just yellow.
We can hope.
And a little bit of orange. And wouldn't that be nice, right? And I mean, I think it would be just neat if they would do that. See, I had to fix that one spot, didn't I?
Well, of course you did. Hey, we'd like to give a heartfelt thank you to Susan for her donating through PayPal. And she's in the fishbowl, swimming with the fishes.
Now, we're going to do some palette knife work in here still. Just so you know, don't want you know, but we'll take the palette knife and we'll do this one. And I'm going to go into the bright, the cad red. I think I have some cad red light. Where did that go?
It'd be in the red section.
Cad red light. Let's use that. You see the difference? Now I'm going to just sort of kind of tilt this a little bit and just touch it. And then it's a little brighter, isn't it?
It looks nice.
Remember, if you've already got texture on here, what the cad red will do, we'll see, and then right next to the vase, is where this is going. Put a little yellow with it, see what I get. The secret with palette knife when you're using different colors is don't overmix.
That's part of the beauty of it.
Yeah, don't overmix it. A little bit of this red up here. Let's try red now too. Let's just play with the different reds. Yeah, it's cool the way this looks when you do it. Here's some cad red back over here now with the palette knife, and it's nice and thick. And trust me, when you varnish this, you will really see it, right? Like when you varnish this and give it a coat of black and just barely touch it when you're doing stuff like this, you really will see it.
It'll come alive.
You can get such interesting effects. And I know that I want some orange up here.
Here's a good question for you. Ginger said these weren't her colors, so what would she choose for herself?
Well, I just don't like red and black myself. I mean, I understand that it's pretty. I'm not saying it isn't, right? But I think we all have, like for instance, I don't like certain music, right? It's not that it isn't good music, I just don't like it, right? And I think it's more of something like that than anything wrong with the what we're talking about, right? Does that make sense?
Hey, let's give Michelle a big bear hug for her donation that came in through PayPal, and she too is swimming with the fishes.
Awesome. I got this a little bit wide here and I don't like it, so I'm just gonna
take it off.
Take it off, right? There we go. There's my, so much better. So now what we're gonna do, this is the fun part, and I've left enough space to be able to do it. We're gonna try, these are the Artisto pens. We're going to try those first. If they don't work, I will use white and then color them in, okay? But you really want to shake these up really well, and then when you take it off, just push down and let's see if they're even. That's not as bright as I'd like. Even if I do a black line with them, let's just see. All right, so what I need here before I get paint all over me, right, from this little bit of wet paint right here is, where's my bridge? Is that anywhere handy, John?
Yes, it's hanging on the side of your rack.
Huh?
Yeah, put your hand beside the rack, here? Other side.
Huh?
It's right there, Velcroed on there.
Yeah?
Oh my.
I see it, I see it. Okay, oh, got it. All right.
Gee, I'm sorry, putting things away. Crazy me.
Okay, so this does a kind of a curly cue like that. Goes into the vase.
I think it's a good looking painting for colors you don't like. I think you're doing a fine job.
Okay. I think you might be even better off using a white pen and then glazing it, but I don't know.
No, I don't know. I think it's got a good effect.
To kind of avoid that wet paint right there. They don't do well, these kind of pens do not do well in, let's see, let's give it a little stem on here like that, on the apple, a little highlight. Okay. Now let's try our black one. The fine point black Poscas I'm very fond of. Let's see, I have a big one here. I like these fine point black ones really well. And again, you can come back under here like this and come on the inside of this. Probably should have shaken that one up a little bit, but you can kind of see how these are coming out, right? That's why you always prime them first, so you don't get a big black spot of ink. Let's try our white one. So I kind of like these stems to be kind of bright. Okay. And let's see, where's our little black pen here for a second? Do this black stems on that. So oh, I like the Velcro thing you did on this, John.
I thought it was handy.
And I can easily find it. All right, so let's move all the stuff out of the way.
We're not done, are we?
We're awfully close to being done, my darling.
Awfully close.
I think so. I just, you know, if you want something a little brighter, like I say, you can touch up, you can dry touch up with a palette knife, but, and I think we had a little bit of a, I wanted kind of a little light edge around a couple of these poppies. Like, let's see, well, I can use this thing, like right here. See what I'm doing? Didn't do the whole poppy, just places where I thought it needed an edge. But again, you don't, one of the tricks was outline things, don't outline the whole thing. All right.
That makes sense.
All right. And then, oh no, and then just so you'll see it. Here's some glazing medium, gloss medium, and if I were to put that on some, my black is too wet, but I could put that on there and have some places be shinier and some places not be shiny, all right? So that's the advantage of using something like that. But let's get the little tape off of here. That would be that, you know, my other option, okay, to do. And the other thing I'd like to do, sometimes I like to just go back and, you know, cut in with black or something if I need to. Like, for instance, like right in here next to this flower, I could cut in here, or maybe make it a little bit more room between this flower and that one, that kind of thing. Okay, you've got options when you're painting. You're not stuck with most anything that you paint. A little bit black around this guy, so they show up. Okay? But that, you guys, was really what I intended to paint. Turn this down a little bit. Let's do a little bit of this dark red here next to the vase. So my vase stands out. I want my lighter color on this highlight on the vase to show up. Maybe down here like that. If that's the case, then I might want to cut into my vase a little bit. Remember, I've got a white line there where we drew it on. So I might come close to that and do something like this. Again, all of this is to just make sure that your vase is, you know, got the proper highlights, and your flower does too. Your flower poppies thing here. Let's make that a little bigger. And then let's do some yellow right here. Just plop some in here. Like that. Just these tiny little touches of light. And we're good to go. I mean, that's really all you have to do. Do you have a frame for this, John?
How did I know that was going to come up next?
Well, you kind of did, didn't you?
See, 9 by 12. I'm thinking probably dark again. Keep with the motif.
Got a kind of a light frame. I think almost a gold frame on this one.
You want to do gold with it?
I think I would do gold. Don't you guys think so?
You can do gold.
Yeah.
You didn't show the things you were supposed to show. You can do that while I'm doing this.
Yeah, John's going to take it. Look, you want to... all right, let me just get all
That's
this
soaking
out.
wet though, isn't it?
Yeah, we got to...
Okay, everybody plug their ears, going to mute, because I'm not by the computer, so it's going to go. Just deal with it.
I think that is pretty good. This won't affect your framing and all. These didn't get painted yellow, but all right, there we go.
That's
okay, John's I'm gonna show you this new painting that's coming up. For those of you who are not aware of this, we have our online
Careful
art
with
school.
that hand.
Yeah, we have an online art school where you can really learn to paint from beginner, never touched a paintbrush, to over 700 videos of things to paint, step-by-step tutorials, just my voice. Here's one called, what's this? Walking Home, I think. And this
Winter's Warm Embrace.
Winter's Warm Embrace, all right. Winter's Warm Embrace, and you can kind of see, you can't really see the whole thing, but that's on a 20 by 20 canvas, and it's really powerful on a wall. It's really nice. It's got great colors if you guys like colors. Those of you who are following my story time, a lot of you said you'd like an Academy tutorial that would show perfume bottles on a vanity table like that with a mirror and stuff. And we will be doing something like that for our academy too. You know, for under $50 a month, you can get personal art coaching. And you know, we've got so many videos that you can choose from, and you take pictures, you send your artwork to me, and I can make helpful suggestions. We encourage you for this new year, let's take your art just a little bit farther than you've taken it, see what we can do. Try us for a month, see if that isn't helpful. You can send me in 4 paintings a month, one of them can be a non-tutorial. If you only want to do your own stuff, and don't want to do anything I do, just your own stuff, but you want help with it, as a Purple member, you can send me in just your own stuff with your references, and I'm happy to help you with that too. So that's just my little spiel for that. Now, oh my gosh, John, here's our painting. This came out is better than I'd hoped. Because I wasn't sure if we'd catch all the bright, shiny colors, but I feel like we did. Don't you guys think we did? And
I think you outdid yourself once again.
But I absolutely feel like we did. I'm going to sign it right in the red, probably right here, the black. For this is a very interesting, it's where you take the old, you know, the old idea of, you know, doing a vase. So we had a lot of Orion, the artist Orion, and he, you know, did a lot of probably more abstract vases, right? And you take that, and then you take the idea of, you know, bold abstract colors and combine them, and I think it's pretty. It's pretty powerful. Probably, I see one thing I'm going to do. There's an expression. It's a little hot up here in this corner right here. So I'm going to tone down this highlight a little bit, right like that. It's just a little bright. You saw that, right? Sometimes layers, just so much layering. There we go. So I hope this was fun. Thanks you guys for watching. We appreciate everything you guys, you know, your comments. Your comments mean the world to me. I would truly hope that you will make comments on how you enjoyed this painting. Just even if you just wrote real quick, we liked it a lot. Thanks, Ginger. That's nice. And I want to thank our mods for coming in, and I'm going to give my best love to my daughter Cinnamon if she has any chance is able to watch this. And next week we might do more of this type of thing. If you think that's something you all might be interested in, what do you think?
Leave a comment below when the video's done and posted. Let us know what you'd like to see Ginger paint next.
Yeah, and there's something that came up recently, which I thought was important, was that what was it now? I'm painting something else, I forget. But something that came up recently was the idea that, gosh, I can't remember it. I'll have to think about it again because it came up recently, and now that I want to tell you, I can't, which is terrible because I really wanted to share that with you, but now I can't. So sorry, since I knew it was important. What was it, John? Well, we'll find out. We'll be live on tomorrow.
There's a good chance of it. Depends on weather.
Depending on the weather. If we can, we'll try to get live for you tomorrow. And
for another exciting story time.
For another exciting story time of painting with Ginger, and we'll tell you some more stories. Have fun. Thanks, you guys. Don't forget to subscribe. Share the videos. Bye.
Bye, everyone.